I think Bigfoot is an animal that we already know from the fossil record. It's a fair presumption that this was an erect bipedal animal, standing perhaps 8 feet tall, weighing about 800 pounds, and being presumably covered with hair. And this, of course, is an exact description of the living Sasquatch.
911, what are you reporting?
We got something crawling around out here.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal?
I can't tell.
He is known to rip people apart if he gets a chance.
What do you think they ought to do about him?
Kill him. He might hurt somebody.
It was walking very much like a human.
What's going on now, sir?
Son of a is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh.
Get somebody out here.
There are creatures science refuses to recognize. But new technology makes us question what is real. If our eyes see it,
Come on!
if our cameras capture it, does it exist? Enter a realm where fact meets fiction, science meets legend, where nightmares come to life.
Oh my God!
Do you believe? Lost Tapes. Bigfoot. In 2005, Rachel Glenn was assigned to investigate the illegal hunting of black bears, whose population was being decimated in the Pacific Northwest. She documented her efforts through a combination of field journals, surveillance cameras, and online web reports. In addition to the evidence of poaching, between August 2nd and August 14th, she also noticed strange, unidentifiable sounds in the area, and the distinct feeling she was being watched. By what or whom, she did not know. These are her tapes.
Game warden is calling it one of the largest poaching cases ever on record.
The bodies of 4 black bears were found today, abandoned by the side of County Road 18. The paws and gallbladders of the bears had all been removed.
Today is August 2nd. Poaching seems to be on the increase this season. I myself was caught in a snare today. I disabled it and will continue to disable any snares that I come across. On another note, I've been hearing some strange noises that I can't identify with any of the wildlife in this area. I will continue to monitor it with video and audio surveillance.
I was coming down north on this road here, and I heard some noise screaming back in here. And the noise that was coming from that creature is what was on the recorder here.
saw it coming up over that ridge up there. It made the most horrible sound I'd ever heard in my life.
I think Bigfoot is an animal that we already know from the fossil record. This is a cast of the lower jaw of what we call the Gigantopithecus.
In this region, the caves have produced teeth of a primate, Gigantopithecus, which may have gone extinct as recently as 10,000 years ago. That was just a bit too much like us for our own comfort.
It's a fair presumption that this was an erect bipedal animal, standing perhaps 8 feet tall, weighing about 800 pounds, and being presumably covered with hair. And this, of course, is an exact description of the living Sasquatch.
Excerpt, Rachel Glenn's Field Journal, August 6, 2005. Rachel disabled more traps near the Northeast Basin. Cable snares, identical settings. She suspected it to be the work of the same poacher. She also filed these photographs, unable to identify the subject as the images were indiscernible.
Shots were fired today at an area park ranger. The poacher turned his gun on the officer and fired 4 to 6 rounds.
There are very stiff penalties for poaching in this state, and very high rewards for those who catch poachers in the act.
Rachel's Journal, August 9th. Destroyed numerous traps. Anxious behavior in bears near her post attributed to mysterious noises from the forest. Admits she herself is disturbed by the strange sounds. There's something out there, she writes.
What the hell? Well, something appears to have tampered with camera 7. This camera is 9 feet off the ground. It does not look like the work of a bear here. What is this? Some sort of fur.
I know what bear look like, what they smell like, what they sound like. This was not a bear. I was terrified.
There was no doubt about it. They were unlike anything that I had ever seen or even imagined before.
As I got a little bit closer, I noticed it was walking very much like a human. And the height had to have been maybe 7.5 feet tall.
20 years of outdoor experience in Alaska. I'm not afraid to be out in the woods. What I saw was unlike anything I've ever experienced before.
We have vial of fur from tree under camera 7. What the hell?
I saw this very tall, dark, hairy creature, i.e. Bigfoot, peer its head out from behind the tree. I believe it was curious.
Of all the great apes, the gorilla is the largest species, and they're often described as intelligent.
I got a couple things here, Rachel. First off, the lab had a question about that hair sample you sent in. There's no chance of contamination on that, is there?
Why do you ask?
Turns out it's not a bear. It's more like a primate or something.
Really?
Yeah, they're running more tests on it. I'll let you know if they find anything. But that's not the main reason I needed to speak with you. Listen, we got some info about hostile poachers up there. Right now, you're the only one I got covering that entire area. I might need to get you out of there sooner than we planned.
Well, just keep me informed. Let me know what you find out.
All right, Rachel. I'll get back to you shortly.
Bye.
Rachel!
August 13th. Rachel received word that help was on the way, but she would have to hold out for another 36 hours before it arrived. She packed her bags, then spent the day gathering final footage of her bears. There was only one entry in her journal for this day, a question: where are you?
Miss Rachel, there you are. Where'd you go?
You looking for me?
You're pretty and smart.
Pervert.
You quit destroying my traps, maybe I'll leave you alone.
Give me the camera.
You want this? Come get it.
Give me the camera. Down on the ground.
August 14th. After viewing footage on the poacher's camcorder, Rachel now felt even more vulnerable. Where she had always felt safe in the secluded woods, fear now replaced that emotion. I need help now, she writes. Rachel continued to study the photographic evidence of the mysterious animal, which appeared to be drawing closer to her. One of her last entries reads, "It almost seems like he is keeping a watchful eye on me."
We see a lot of instances from zoos and also in the wild, these social bonds that are established between humans and the primate species they study.
What did they
Today is August 14th. I've had quite a day. Had an earlier encounter with a poacher. Oh, God! I will shoot you! I am not afraid to shoot you!
Talking to you, I see
Get the out of get the out! Get the out of here! August 14th. There's been some sort of an attack. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Rachel Glenn's final report included an encouraging assessment of a now thriving black bear population. An incident report was included for the hunter who was killed by his own traps. There was no further mention of any new or strange species in the area. Every year, more Bigfoot sightings are reported across the world. There is no final conclusion as to whether he is a benevolent soul or a monster of the woods. As with so many other hidden creatures, we are left to wonder, do they live among us?